Hello, my dear students. Once a German renowned poet says, the poetry heals the wound inflicted by reason. So, if we have problem, if we have hassle, if we have frustration, obsession, we can write poetry. By writing poetry, we can relieve our problem. So, poetry here can be used as healer. This is Protap Sharma presenting you today's online class. Dear students, you might have guessed what could be the topic of today's discussion. Right, we are going to learn a poem today. The poem name is The Lake Isle of Innisfree, written by W.B. Yeats. The poem is taken from English for Today, Unit 12, Lesson 1. Before analyzing the poem, I would like to give you the historical background of this poem. So students, let us know the historical background of the poem. W.B. Yeats, the writer of this poem, is an Irish poet. The poem was written in 1888 and later it was published in 1890. The very name of this poem, Innisfree. Innisfree is a real island. It is an isolated island located in Ireland. While writing this poem, the writer W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats, was living in London. He actually spent his childhood in this island, in Innisfree. During a summer season, he spent his childhood in Innisfree. So, dear students, as we have 3 stanzas in this poem, I will analyze the poem stanza by stanza. Then I will be talking about the theme of the poem. As we know, the question comes in our first paper about the theme writing. So, let's get started with the first stanza. I will arise and go now and go to the Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and water mats, 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loved glade. The first stanza basically talks about the poet's desire for peace and love. The poet actually wants to go to this island, Innisfree, which is a real island. He wants to go there and he wants to make a small cabin there. He wants to make or build a small cabin there, and the cabin will be made of clay and water. So the cabin will be made with watery elements and with earth. And there the poet wants to row 9 bees, and he wants to have a hive for the honeybee. Along with this, he wants to live there in that island with the bee-loved glade. So the bee will be singing there while the poet stays in that isolated island. So let us analyze the second stanza. Let me pronounce the lines first. And I shall have some peace there for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings. The midnights all a glimmer and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. So in that desolate island, in that isolated island, the poet is seeking peace. He is seeking a kind of peace which comes very slowly, which comes to him in a very soothing manner. Even he was talking about cricket sings. We know what is cricket. Cricket is a kind of insect. In the rural areas, we see this kind of insects. They actually make sounds during night. So he wants to live there in that island, and he wants to listen cricket sings. He wants to live. He wants to see some sort of glimmer in the midnight. So glimmer, you know, a kind of light that is actually that flows very lightly. So that kind of experience he wants to have there. Then the noon, according to the poet, the noon is a purple glow. The noon becomes a red color, purple color. Okay, the noon will glow like a purple color. That kind of scenario the poet wants to have there. And he also wants to have a different experience, that is the linnet's wings. We know linnet is a kind of bird. The poet actually, when he is in that island, he wants to see birds are flying in the sky. He wants to enjoy that scenario. Dear students, let us analyze the third stanza. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear lake water lapping with low sound by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep heart's core. The poet is again saying the first line, reiterating the first line. In that island, the poet wants to hear low sound, lapping sound. It means lapping water sound. We know when the sea water strikes the shore, it makes a kind of sound, that is lapping sound, very tranquil sound he wants to experience. The poet is also saying in the third stanza, he stands on the roadway or pavement grey. What does it mean actually, my dear students? Basically, when the poet wrote this poem, he was living in London. You know, London is a busy place, lots of metropolis there, lots of hassles, bustles over there. He actually experiencing the roadway, the pavements there. He actually gave a reference of that roadsides. He was walking around the roadside. Though he was in the city life, in the city atmosphere, he can hear the sound of that Innisfree, or he can imagine the tranquility, the peace of the Innisfree island from his deep heart's core. He can feel it very deeply. In this way, we can analyze the poem. Dear students, let me talk about the possible theme of the poem. The possible theme could be, one possible theme could be civilization. versus nature. How this theme could be the possible theme of the poem? Because the poet is living in London. So maybe the poet is very much disturbed by the present time, by the present moment. That is why he wants to seek refuge to the nature. Nature is a kind of element which provides peace, which provides love to human beings. Another possible theme could be simplicity versus materialism. By looking at this poem, we can say that poet is very much busy with his city life, but he don't like those city hassles or city anomalies. Rather, he wants to lead a very simple life. In order to lead a simple life, he wants to go to the very island in spring, which is uninhabited. No people live there. He wants to just live there alone and enjoy the life of nature. So simplicity is emphasized here rather than materialistic life. People actually run after money, run after material desire, but the poem wants to get rid out of this materialistic world. Rather, he wants to live in that isolated island with simplicity. So these two could be the possible themes of this poem. This is all about my today's lecture. If you have any questions or queries regarding my lecture, you can leave your comment in the comment box. Hopefully, I will be coming with more videos in the next online class. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.